Good morning, Facebook people, YouTube people. How are y'all doing today? Shaping up to what looks like to be a pretty decent Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. Super Saturday to everybody. As you can see, uh-oh, she's mad again. Sally has been relegated to the out of doors again. She'll get over it, but because she's sporting a new exhaust system, or not a new one, but a lot of it has been replaced yesterday. Man, I'll tell you what, those guys, hey, I got two people watching on this early on a Saturday. Wow. But while I'm at it, I wanted to give a shout out for those who live in this area. If you need exhaust work done, and I've used these people before, Sharpsburg Muffler. They're now actually in Tyrone. I dropped it off early yesterday morning. I figured it would take them a couple days. Maybe I might get my car back on Monday, but they finished it by close of business yesterday, and by way before 5 o'clock, I was home with my car, all the work completed. But back to the business at hand, folks. Hey, Richard. Just catching y'all up on this project, which is a new old project. I've worked on this car before many months ago. I don't even remember how long. It's been a long time. But what I did yesterday was strip wash it. First I pre-rinsed it with my power washer. Then I snow foamed it, as we call it, with some very strong soap because it had all kind of stuff on it, to try to remove as much as possible. And then I did a contact wash with a high quality microfiber mitt, with actually several of them. I keep changing out as I go along. One mitt might do the whole hood, and then I would change and do panel, because you can do half of the hood with one side of the mitt, then you flip it over and you do the other side. And remember what I say, always work clean. So then I take that one, toss it in a dirty bucket, and grab a new one to start maybe the roof. Always work clean, folks, because I don't know who's been washing this car, if the owner's been washing it by hand or taking it through the car wash, maybe both. But as her boyfriend explained to me yesterday, their driveway, I don't know, close. I've been to their house before. It's very long driveway, but it's dirt and gravel. And so he says they have to get their cars cleaned on a regular basis. So they run them through the commercial car wash, which I could tell, because there's a couple problems with commercial car washes, Richard. It says there's two people watching. Oh, Casey Black. But there's a couple of problems with most of the commercial car washes. I'm not talking about the ones where you go and spray it off, although they have problems too. I'm talking about the ones you go through where they have the machines, whether it be a touchless or a brush, or whatever it is. The water, even though some of them filter it, they don't change the filters often enough, so you've got hard water spotting problems. The soap that they use, which is understandable in their position, is extremely strong soap. And a lot of times the brushes or whatever they're using are dirty from the prior washes of the cars that came in front of you, so they are scratching the paint. And those brushes, I don't care what they say, folks, those brushes are going to micro mar your paint, period. And if any of them wants to argue with me about that, I welcome the argument. I challenge them to a test. Challenge them. And then on top of that, a lot of times the rinse that they use afterwards is insufficient. It does not remove all of that really strong soap, because that is difficult to do, even doing it at my level. Even this car, yesterday I used the strong soaps and I rinsed and rinsed and rinsed, and it still has some little bit of residue on the paint, which I will remove this morning by either paint prep or some quick detailer, if depending on how bad it is in certain spots, before I go to the next step. And that will improve the shine, as we like to call it, or the gloss, as the professionals like to call it, tremendously, even though she looks much, much, much better now than she did yesterday. So the rinse is insufficient, and a lot of them have the air drying. Hey, Terry, a lot of the talking about commercial car washes, Terry, they will, run that machine over your car and it blows real hard and it's supposed to dry the paint off, and it does a fairly good job of that. But what it is doing is drying the residue onto your paint. Now, I use a dryer. Yeah, that's a new old one, Terry. It's a regular customer. Lexxus. Nice car, Terry. Nice car. Hey, Mr. Oh, it's the Shire of the Borough of Rockdale, I believe, is watching. Hey, Mr. Sheriff. But I force air dry it. And then, at those car washes, a lot of times, wow, 6 people watching, holy cow, is that they'll pull it out and they'll dry it off with substandard microfiber towels. Hey, Mr. Moore, good morning to you, Mr. Moore. Y'all give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, make a comment or something or other on here to help me out. And a lot of times they'll use dirty towels. And if y'all watched the video yesterday, you can go back and watch it. They leave a lot of what I call micro marring on the paint, which will make it dull to some degree. You have a lot of people too, Terry, like the folks that own this car, and they own several other vehicles. My mechanic, and this is his girlfriend, you might as well say wife's car, but they have an extremely long driveway, which is dirt and gravel, so they have to wash them way too often. So he says they just run them through the car wash. And I had put a ceramic coating on this one, Terry, but they have not maintained it properly. And I could tell yesterday when I was washing this car that ceramic coating is almost gone. It's almost failed. You cannot take a car you ceramic coated and run it through car wash after car wash after car wash, or wash it improperly and expect it to last. This ceramic coating should have given them 2 to 4 years if maintained properly, which it has not been. Oh well. So getting back to my narrative here, Terry, I believe at the car wash they use substandard microfiber towels and dirty microfiber towels to finish drying this thing off after, and a lot of them do that, and it scratches the paint, period. You know me, Terry, I use forced air to dry it, and then later I'll go back over it with other stuff. But another thing I wanted to point out, I was looking at it this morning, the wheels and tires, Terry, have just been cleaned. I have not done anything else to them, and doggone if they don't look pretty good. I tried my best to wash that Optimum tire coat stuff that I put on there the last time, I don't know, 6 months ago or better, it is still holding up rather well. Even though I'm going to redo them, Terry, probably with the Duplicolor tire paint this go around. And I'm going to tell her wheels need polishing, where those brushes from the car wash have been messing them up, and that soap been drying on that chrome and it has spotted them up, and I think polishing them up would be very beneficial. And she needs probably at least a one-step polish to get rid of all the crap and the micro marring on the paint. It would probably get rid of 90% of it, but that's not in the budget this go around, Terry, which is fine by me, although it breaks my heart to send a car of this quality out of the door with all that micro marring left. We'll see, but we are going to be doing some spot work, Terry. And I know that your cars, a lot of times you bring to me, there's certain parts that you're concerned about. Now, she has some concern with some spotting on the hood, which I showed you guys yesterday. The hood has been repainted, as you might can tell. It's pretty close, about as close as you can expect. Okay, because repainting, touch-up painting never, ever matches. Not perfectly. It's not going to, never will. But one of the spots that she didn't mention and the customer didn't mention was, see that spot on the passenger door here? Terry, that's what I'm going to be working on this morning. I'll get in a little bit closer for you guys. That looks like, I don't know, maybe a shopping cart or something brushed up against it. Feeling of it with my finger, and I did the plastic bag test earlier. Oh man, it doesn't seem to be scratched into the clear coat very deeply, Terry. It seems to be basically a minor surface abrasion, and so I am going to attack that for her in addition to some of the other spots. And I didn't really notice this one, Terry, when I first examined the car until I got the car completely clean, because the dirt had kind of covered it up. But once it was absolutely clean, it was glaring. So what I'm going to do, Terry, is the first thing I'm going to try is, that is some transfer. I'm not sure if it's paint. It does look like some kind of paint, but it's not scratched. So I think it's all surface. And what I'm going to do is try the least aggressive methods first, which is what you always want to do. The very first thing I'm going to try is rubbing it just with some quick detailer and see if that works, which I doubt it will. But you know, you never know, it might. And then if that does not work, I will try some alcohol and distilled water solution to see if that'll clean this paint transfer off. If that doesn't work, which I suspect it may, Terry, if that doesn't work, then I will take a little paint thinner on a microfiber towel and see if I can rub it off that way, which if those other methods don't work, I'm almost certain that will improve this dramatically. I think that will remove all this. It will not hurt your clear coat, people. It will not. Now, after I do that, I will rinse the paint thinner off, because you don't want to leave it on there. You don't want it to dry on there. And then I will come back with a dual action buffer and a soft pad, some finishing polish, and just, because it's probably going to show some scratching when I get this paint transfer off, and polish it out a little bit. Probably polish this whole area to kind of make sure it blends. And I guarantee you, I'm almost certain that this will disappear to the naked eye, unless maybe if you get a magnifying glass and get up close, you might be able to see it, but I doubt it. I think the probability of success on this spot will be very, very high. What I hate about these shiny cars, Terry, is when I'm making these videos, you can see me. Oh boy, scaring everybody off. But I'm gonna get rid of that and some of those other spots she was concerned about, basically using the same techniques and the products. And, you know, then I will paint prep the entire car. Hey, Miss Vicky, rock on, huh? Miss Vicky is an excellent musician, you folks. She has a band that plays all over town. Keep your eyes open for her. Keep your eyes open for her. I don't go out anymore. Okay, Mr. Terry. But I will paint prep the entire vehicle, the last step, and then I'm going to put a decent quality sealer on here. And this thing will pop pretty good at that point. I will put the sealer on these wheels, and I'm going to redo the tires, and then I will most likely, since this is a kind of a budget job, the windows, you see they still look kind of dirty, although they're not really, but this is that soap residue. A lot of it I was talking, some of it's hard water spotting and soap residue from previous commercial car washing. That's what it'll do to your windows. But a little bit of Schaefer's Citral 266 diluted down about 4 or 5 to 1 distilled water in a spray bottle, and a magic sponge, and then you mop up with a microfiber towel and then put the sealer on it, and that glass will look almost new. Really, the only way to get it back to almost perfection is to use, yes ma'am, you sure can, Miss Vicky, you sure can. Bring it to me. Black BMWs. Ooh, extremely hard clear coat on those. And you know, black is the most difficult color to work with, but the hard clear coat on those, Miss Vicky, is both good news and bad news, advantages and disadvantages, but I'll take the advantages of that over the disadvantages. One reason why BMWs cost more than many other vehicles is due to the quality of the paint. BMWs, Mercedes, those sorts of vehicles, these Lexus, have high quality paint. High quality paint. So, anyway, I won't be buffing this glass because that's not in their budget, but I'm going to get it as clean as I can with that method that I described. And then I'll put a sealer on the glass, which will help prevent this kind of stuff in the future, even though she runs it through a lot of commercial car washes. And I would say the sealer I'm going to put on this car today will last through maybe 4 or 5, maybe more, to 10 of those car washes. Because once they put that strong soap on there and the brushes hit it, that sealer will pretty much all be gone. That's just the downside, folks, of using commercial car washes. If I had a very, very nice car like this one, I would not use those car washes. Some people have to. They just have to. And I understand that. They don't really have a choice. They don't have the money to pay someone like me to do their maintenance washes or the time. So they're forced into it because of their... Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I don't do door dings, Vicky. That's body shop work. That's body shop work. I don't take out dents. I don't do touch-up paint. This is all paint enhancement. But I will make them, if there's, you know, scratches and that sort of thing on the paint, or it's dull or oxidized, I make and help you there. But I'd love to see that truck anyway. I can examine it and maybe give you some pointers, Miss Vicky. But then after I get through with all that, folks, then she wants the interior just vacuumed real good and all the hard, all the surfaces, the visible surfaces wiped down, which to clean her high level leather seats that she has in here on the interior, believe it or not, what I will probably use to clean these with, do not waste your money at the parts store on all those fancy leather cleaners. Waste of money, totally unnecessary. Don't do squat. These leather seats have a clear coat on them, very similar to what's on the paint. So if you buy all this special leather cleaner, leather conditioner, hey, Miss Stephanie, you are wasting your money buying all that special leather stuff because this is clear coated. Now, what Lexus recommends, BMW, Mercedes, and all those high level automakers, you know what they suggest cleaning this with? You're not going to believe this. Woolite and distilled water mixed together 50-50 in a spray bottle. Spray it on your towel, whatever it is you're using. Use that to clean these with. That's all you need. Most of the time, all I use is a little bit of Optimum no rinse solution diluted down and wipe them down because it leaves a little bit of a shine and cleans off the surface dirt. Now, if you've got some stains and grease or grime or stuff like that on it, then different story. But save yourself some money, folks. Do not waste your money on that crap at the retail level stores. All right, folks. I'm going to get on this little spot here that I was showing you guys earlier, and I will come back after I'm done and show you the results. Okay, I'm not, like I said before, Stephanie, I'm not absolutely certain what caused this, but it almost looks like a shopping cart or something brushed up against it. It doesn't feel like it's scratched. Okay, so I'm going to try different methods of cleaning this off, and then I'll buff it to make it match the whole door. All right, folks. Oh, I hate these reflections in these shiny cars. They're going to scare people off. I got to get my face out of this. All right, folks. I do appreciate everybody listening in and watching. Yeah. Most of that's to a high level car is child's play, Miss Vicky. For, somebody like me with the proper equipment and the proper products. I do not anticipate this being difficult at all. But I'm going to try the least aggressive products first, which is what you always want to do. Although I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to graduate up to the paint thinner. You can go back and watch the early part of the video where I explain about that and how to do that and what to do, what not to do. And I'm almost positive that's going to get rid of most of this where you can't see it anymore. And then after I buff this off, oh, there's my baby, Miss Angela. Superstar Angela Cummings, y'all. I won't know, Vicky, until I look at it. You'll have to bring it to me and let me look at it. It'd be hard to give you a quote without actually seeing it. Or maybe you can take a lot of photographs and maybe send those to me. Not a lot, but, enough. In decent light where I can actually see. But see, my granddaddy always taught me that you look at paint and assess paint with your hands, not your eyes. See, from back here, I can kind of see what that is, but I don't really know and understand the nature of it till I actually feel of it. And that feeling of it right here tells me that if this is scratched at all, it's just barely micro marred the clear coat, which means in about 1 minute of buffing, it will go. It will go away. Sometimes on these high level cars with a really hard clear coat, it might take 2 minutes instead of 1. But I'll bet you anything that this will be gone when I sign back on here in a little while. Oh, so I'm saying goodbye. Ooh. I don't know. I can't tell if that's focusing in on anything, y'all. Ooh. Saying goodbye from Mike's Magic. Car and Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement. I need to shorten that, I think, a little bit. That's a mouthful, even for me, and I know what it says. Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. Woo-wee. Ah. Hey, Miss Angela, you still there? If your mama wants one of these, I've got these in refrigerator magnets. I'll send y'all one or two. Some ladies don't like refrigerator magnets on their refrigerator, but if anybody wants a refrigerator magnet, I ordered some. I need to redo the artwork a little bit on it, so I'm just getting rid of them. So y'all holler at me, let me know. Send me a comment. Make a comment down there. If you got any questions, observations, criticisms, whatever, put them in the comment section down there, and I will get back to you. Okay, I'm going to get to work on this, folks. Jeff, you signed in just as I'm saying goodbye. Getting rid of this morning, Jeff. Whatever that is. Go back and watch the rest of the video, Jeff, for a full explanation on my plan of attack and what my assessment of that is. Okay, folks, I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Once again, look at that ugly reflection of that dude in the car. Oh, my goodness. I shouldn't do that. All right, guys. Bye.